Seniors, stop eating these 7 fruits, they're silently destroying your leg strength. You've been lied to again. That fruit salad on your plate? The one you've always believed was packed with vitamins and natural goodness? It might be the very reason your legs feel weaker each morning. Shocking, right? But here's the truth no one wants to talk about. Some of the most popular fruits for seniors are actually working against you, draining your energy, inflaming your joints, and silently damaging your circulation. If you've been eating healthy and still feel that swelling in your feet, that stiffness in your knees, or that lingering fatigue, you're not crazy, and it's not just aging. It's what you're putting on your fork. This isn't about avoiding fruit altogether. It's about knowing which ones are secretly hurting you and which can help you move freely again, feel stronger, and regain your vitality. And yes, there's real science behind it. So, if you're serious about walking pain-free, enjoying long walks in the park again, or simply standing up without groaning, stick with me. Because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly which 7 fruits to eliminate immediately and what to replace them with to get your strength back. Hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Your future self will thank you. The silent trigger of inflammation. You know, pineapple has that tropical charm. It looks innocent enough on a fruit plate. But here's the kicker. It's quietly sabotaging your body from the inside out. While many believe it's a health hero, it's loaded with natural sugar and acids that spike your blood sugar like fireworks on the 4th of July. Those spikes? They're not just bad for diabetics. They damage the tiniest blood vessels in your legs and feet. That means your circulation, your mobility, and even your balance can take a hit without you realizing where the trouble started. And let's talk about inflammation. Pineapple might taste sweet, but for seniors already dealing with stiff knees or achy joints, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire. That little burn you feel in your joints after walking too far? It might be less about aging and more about what's sitting in your fruit bowl. Many don't connect the dots between their so-called healthy snacks and the discomfort in their legs. A few slices here and there seem harmless, but if you've been eating pineapple daily thinking it helps your gut health foods or is part of a balanced diet plan, think again. Now here's something most folks never hear about: bromelain. It's the enzyme found in pineapple that can clash with blood thinners. Yes, even natural food can mess with your meds. So if you're wondering, is food healthy just because it's from nature, think twice. There's a fine line between healing and harming, especially after 60. And this is where we start seeing patterns with other popular fruits that might be pretending to help, but are slowly breaking down your strength. The muscle imposter. Bananas might wear a health halo, but behind that yellow peel hides a sneaky truth. They're high in natural sugar and carbs, which, while giving you a quick energy jolt, can quietly erode your metabolic health over time. People often throw bananas into their breakfast thinking this is how to eat healthy, but when you're over 60, that spike in blood sugar can be more damaging than helpful. It promotes insulin resistance, slowly disrupting your best diet for weight loss and affecting how your body stores fat, particularly in your midsection and legs. Here's what they don't tell you. Regular banana consumption can reduce circulation to your legs, especially if you already deal with high blood pressure or sluggish veins. Ever noticed unexplained swelling in your ankles after lunch? Or maybe a heavy sensation in your calves after a short walk? Bananas may be playing a role in that. And while they're often seen as gut health foods, their sugar content can throw your digestion off balance and create more bloating than benefit. A balanced diet plan should nourish, not leave you feeling like your shoes suddenly shrunk. Now, imagine someone managing a heart condition, unknowingly sabotaging their progress with 2 bananas a day. It's like trying to climb out of a hole while someone keeps piling more dirt in. For someone seeking intermittent fasting benefits or adopting healthy eating habits, bananas can be misleading, posing as muscle-friendly but quietly undermining your efforts. And just like that, we begin to see a trend forming. The smaller the fruit, the bigger the impact it can have. Tiny fruit, big inflammation. Grapes are small, easy to pop into your mouth, and feel harmless, almost like nature's candy. And that's exactly the problem. These tiny fruits are loaded with fructose, a type of sugar that doesn't just sweeten the deal, it gets converted into fat and uric acid. That uric acid? It's a major trigger for gout attacks, especially for seniors. And if you've been waking up with joint stiffness in your big toe or your fingers, it might not be aging. It could be the grapes in your evening snack. People rarely ask, is food healthy, when it looks so innocent, but these are the questions that change lives. Think about this. You eat a handful of grapes while watching TV. Then another. Then maybe another. They're bite-sized, refreshing, and easy to overeat. But that fruit binge stacks up fast, leading to hidden sugar overloads that the body struggles to process efficiently. And when your system's overwhelmed, inflammation kicks in. That's when your knees start aching, your back gets stiff, and your ankles swell. Inflammation isn't always loud. Sometimes, it whispers through your joints until movement itself feels like a burden. Not great for those trying to follow a balanced diet plan or avoid foods to avoid after 60. And here's the kicker. Most people add grapes to their fruit salad thinking they're doing their body a favor. But if you're trying to benefit from intermittent fasting or aiming for the best diet for weight loss, these little guys can sneakily undo your progress. They don't just feed your cravings, they feed the fire inside your body. But don't worry, grapes aren't the only sweet threat flying under the radar. The next one is bigger, redder, and surprisingly even more damaging. Sugar rush that hurts mobility. There's something about watermelon that screams summer, refreshment, and innocence. But for those over 60, this juicy red fruit can be a Trojan horse. With one of the highest glycemic indexes among fruits, watermelon causes blood sugar to spike faster than most desserts. You eat a few slices after lunch, and suddenly you feel that unexpected fatigue creeping in, not because you're tired, but because your insulin just took a hit. And if you're chasing intermittent fasting benefits or a balanced diet plan, that roller coaster of energy crashes is the exact opposite of what you need. It doesn't stop there. Watermelon's sugar rush triggers swelling, particularly in the legs and ankles. That nagging puffiness that makes your shoes tighter or your steps heavier. Yeah, that could be from just a little watermelon. On top of that, oxidative stress caused by repeated sugar surges starts weakening nerve function, especially in your lower limbs. If your feet ever feel tingly, numb, or just off, you might be facing early nerve stress, a hidden enemy of mobility. And it makes you question, is food healthy just because it's refreshing and hydrating? People often rave about watermelon as gut health food because of its water content. But hydration alone doesn't fix inflammation. In fact, too much watermelon can contribute to fluid retention, not reduce it. It's a tricky balance. One that becomes even more complicated when other fruits, seemingly harmless, are lining up to join the party. Because right after watermelon, there's another favorite citrus darling, and this one brings its own brand of acidic trouble. The acidic attack on joints. Oranges often show up as the poster child of health. Morning TV hosts love them, right? But for seniors, they can be surprisingly aggressive, especially to the joints. Their high citric acid content combined with sugar turns them into low-key irritants for people dealing with arthritis or chronic inflammation. That glass of orange juice with breakfast might feel refreshing, but it's quietly stirring up pain and stiffness. For someone following a balanced diet plan or seeking out the best diet for weight loss, oranges can act more like a roadblock than a benefit. Now, let's connect the dots. When you consume oranges regularly, that acid builds up and starts to wear on your body's buffering systems. Over time, this irritation can spread system-wide, inflaming not just joints, but also your gut. And gut health foods are supposed to restore balance, not tip it. Your body begins releasing cortisol to handle the inflammation, which interferes with insulin and throws your blood sugar off course. So if you've been wondering why your healthy eating habits aren't giving you the results you expected, your morning citrus ritual might be playing a silent role in that frustration. Imagine someone who's trying to adopt intermittent fasting benefits, skipping late-night meals and loading up on natural sugars in the morning. On paper, it sounds good, but in practice, that orange kickstart can be jarring, causing a sudden spike and crash before your day really begins. Pair that with other sneaky fruits, and you've got a recipe for inflammation disguised as a health routine. And speaking of disguises, let's peel back another one. This time, it's green, crisp, and pretending to be your friend. The hidden source of leg pain. Green apples wear a badge of honor in most diet conversations. They're crunchy, tart, and often marketed as the healthier apple. But here's where things get interesting. They contain malic acid, which in small doses can aid energy production, but in sensitive individuals, especially seniors, it can irritate muscles and joints. If you've been following a balanced diet plan and still wake up with sore legs or tight calves, your daily green apple might be part of the problem, not the solution. Not all gut health foods are as harmless as they appear. This fruit also delivers a dose of natural sugars, which, when not balanced with protein or fat, can lead to blood sugar fluctuations. That roller coaster effect can leave you feeling energized one moment and wiped out the next, especially dangerous when you're trying to maintain healthy eating habits or reap intermittent fasting benefits. You ever take a brisk walk in the morning and feel like your legs suddenly ran out of battery halfway through? That energy crash might trace back to your apple habit. Green apples are often used in weight loss smoothies and detox plans, but here's a truth bomb. If you're not pairing them right, or if you're already dealing with arthritis or fibromyalgia, they may be making matters worse. So while people ask are carbs bad and try to follow the best diet for weight loss, they may be sabotaging themselves with a single crisp bite. And just when you think you've seen it all, there's another fruit lurking around the corner, one that explodes with sweetness and causes even more chaos beneath the surface. The sugar bomb in your joints. Mangoes feel like a tropical vacation in fruit form, rich, sweet, and indulgent. But that indulgence comes at a cost. One single mango contains more sugar than a can of soda, and yes, that's as wild as it sounds. For seniors trying to manage inflammation, stabilize energy, or follow the best diet for weight loss, this is a major red flag. That sugar rush doesn't just affect your waistline. It surges through your bloodstream, inflames your joints, and makes every step you take feel heavier. And to top it off, it spikes insulin like a firework, leaving your body in a state of metabolic confusion. If you've ever noticed tingling, burning, or strange sensations in your feet, especially at night, mangoes might be playing a part. These are classic symptoms of worsening neuropathy, and sugar is one of its most powerful accelerants. You might think you're enjoying a healthy treat, but your nerves are paying the price. It's one of those fruits that people rarely question, because again, is food healthy just because it's natural and comes from a tree? That's the kind of thinking that traps people in cycles of hidden inflammation and discomfort. And here's the real twist. Mangoes don't work alone. They're often combined with yogurts, cereals, or breakfast bowls, boosting sugar content even further. For someone trying to enjoy the intermittent fasting benefits or build healthy eating habits, this combo becomes a perfect storm for leg fatigue and joint swelling. It's a wake-up call for anyone serious about a balanced diet plan. But if you're wondering what fruits are actually good for you, fruits that fight inflammation, support circulation, and restore strength, well, the good news is they do exist. Smart choices for strength and longevity. Let's shift gears, shall we? After all those fruit landmines, you might be wondering if any fruit is safe. The good news? Not only are there safer options, but some are powerful allies in protecting your joints, balancing blood sugar, and supporting leg strength. Let's start with berries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. These tiny wonders are low in sugar, rich in antioxidants, and loaded with anti-inflammatory properties. If you're serious about gut health foods and the best diet for weight loss, berries should be your go-to. Toss them into Greek yogurt, blend them in smoothies, or eat a handful after a walk. You'll notice the difference. Then there are cherries, which are a secret weapon for uric acid control. If you've ever struggled with gout or sudden joint flare-ups, cherries can be your natural defense. They're not just tasty, they actually help reverse some of the damage caused by sugar-heavy fruits like grapes and mangoes. It's the kind of smart choice that aligns perfectly with intermittent fasting benefits and healthy eating habits. Swapping a late-night banana for a few cherries can shift your mornings from stiff and swollen to light and mobile. And let's not forget the underdogs: avocado, papaya, and pear. Avocados provide healthy fats that lubricate your joints and stabilize your energy. Papaya? Amazing for digestion and reducing inflammation. Pears, especially when eaten with protein or nuts, give you gentle sweetness without the crash. These fruits support a truly balanced diet plan, one built not just for weight loss, but for strength, longevity, and energy. Because once you start feeding your body intentionally, the transformation in your legs, your mind, and your life can be radical. So now you know, the fruits that seemed harmless were quietly stealing your strength. But knowledge without action? That's just wasted potential. The real question is, what will you do with what you've just learned? Will you keep repeating the same habits? Or will today be the turning point where you start fueling your body with intention and clarity? Imagine waking up with lighter legs, smoother steps, and no more mystery swelling or discomfort. It's not wishful thinking. It's what happens when you apply what you now know about foods to avoid, how to eat healthy, and how to truly follow a balanced diet plan. Your legs, your energy, and your independence are worth the effort. And before you go, let me ask you this: which fruit surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear your story. Speech balloon, and don't forget, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning. The next video could be the one that completely transforms how you see food and your health.